Hello everyone, welcome back to your physics class. I hope you all are good. Yesterday you have learnt about levers, which are the first type of simple machines. Today we will discuss about the second type of simple machines, which is known as pulley. You might have seen pulleys like in well. Pulleys are attached to the well to lift the underground water. Similarly, if we look at the cranes, then there are some attached parts in the cranes that can be pulleys, which are used to lift the heavy objects. Now we will define pulley. What is pulley? Pulley is a wheel with a rope or chain. It is a wheel with a rope or chain which is passed over the grooved rim. What is the meaning of grooved? Groove means a long narrow cut or depression in the wheel और इन द रिम. रिम इज ऑल्सो लाइक अ व्हील, जिसको हम पहिया भी बोल देते हैं. सो दिस इज नोन एज द ग्रूव्ड रिम दैट इज यूज टू पुल समथिंग अप. So pulley is a wheel with a rope or chain in the grooved rim which is passed over the grooved rim that is used to pull something up. That is known as pulley. So pulleys are the devices which make the lifting of the heavy load much simpler. Pulleys are used in many situations, like people make use of pulleys in the wells to lift the underground water, and these are also used in the junkyards to lift the heavy vehicle. What is junkyard? It is a place where old machines and cars are stored to sold or to recycle that machines and cars. So their pulleys are used to lift the heavy vehicles from one place to another. Similarly, as I have already explained that these are used in the massive and the complex machines like a crane, and pulleys are of great use at the construction sites also, where the pulleys can be also used for lifting purposes. Now we will see that how a pulley works, or how a pulley makes work easier. A pulley makes work easier by changing the direction of the force applied. Now we will see how it changes the direction of the force applied. Here we can take an example, the example that I have already explained of a well, pulley in a well. Without the use of pulleys, if we have to lift a bucket that is filled with underground water, then we have to apply the force on the bucket with the help of rope or the chain in the upward direction, and that would be very difficult for us. But by using or by making use of the pulleys and by passing the rope or the chain over the wheel of the pulley, we can change the direction of the force or the direction of the effort, and in this way the direction of the effort or the force has been changed to the downward direction. That means now we can apply force in the downward direction to pull the bucket which is filled with the underground water to lift it out of the well. So in this way the direction of the force or the effort has been changed from the upward direction to the downward direction, which would be very easy for us to lift the bucket that is filled with the water. So the direction of the force has been changed, and in this way a pulley makes our work easier by changing the direction of the force applied. Now it is also frictionless, or we can say that it reduces the friction as there are no surfaces involved. And there are different type of pulleys that we use in our daily life. There are mainly two type of pulleys. First is the fixed pulley and second is the movable pulley. Now we will see the difference between the fixed pulley and the movable pulley. So here you can see the fixed pulley and the movable pulley. This is fixed pulley. This is the rigid support to which the pulley is attached, or to which the pulley is fixed. This is the rope which is passed over the wheel of this pulley, and this is the fulcrum. Fulcrum is the point, as I have already explained, that where the pulley is pivoted or where the pulley or the wheel of the pulley has been hanged. This is the rope, and to the one end of the rope a load is attached, and at the other end we can apply the force or we can do the effort. So what is fixed pulley? A pulley which remains fixed to the position is known as a fixed pulley. This remains fixed. This is fixed to this rigid support. This is the rigid support. So that's why it is known as fixed pulley. The block of the pulley can be attached to a ceiling or a hook. Block means a rigid support can be attached. That rigid support can be is ceiling or hook, and or we can say that this block can be attached to ceiling or a hook. Now this type of pulley does not reduce or increase the force applied. See here, for example, this load is of 10 kg, and if we have to pull this load or if we have to lift this load, then we have to do some effort on this load, and that effort will also be equal to the load that is equal to 10 kg. That means we have to do an effort equivalent to 10 kg. So in this case the force has not been increased or decreased, but this pulley is used only to change the direction of the force. Without pulley we have to apply the force in the upward direction, as I have explained in the previous example. Without the pulley we have to lift the load in by pulling the rope in the upward direction, but by making use of the pulley we can change the direction of the force or the direction of the effort that we have to do. So in this way we have to apply the force in the downward direction, so the direction has been changed. So this type of pulley is mainly used to change the direction of the force. Now next is about mechanical advantage. What is the mechanical advantage of this pulley? As we know, mechanical advantage is equal to load over effort. So in this case the effort that we have to be done is equal to the load. मीन्स कि जितना लोड है उतना ही हमें एफर्ट करना पड़ेगा. सो अगर लोड इक्वल टू एफर्ट है तो लोड ओवर लोड लिख सकते हैं, या हम उसको एफर्ट ओवर एफर्ट लिख सकते हैं. दैट विल बी इक्वल टू 1. सो इन दिस केस मैकेनिकल एडवांटेज विल बी इक्वल टू 1. That means if a weight of 10 kg is attached to the rope, then a force equivalent to 10 kg is required to lift the load. So this is about the fixed pulley. And the example of fixed pulley that we can see in our daily life is a flag post. In order to raise a flag on a pole, we need not to climb on the top of the pole, but we can attach a fixed pulley simply at the top, and we can raise the flag on the pole. Next is the movable pulley. Movable pulley is a pulley that moves with the load. Means this pulley is capable to move up and down with the load, and here a rigid support is there. So to the rigid support the rope is attached. The one end of the rope is attached to this rigid support, and the other end and at the other end we can do the effort. So the pulley is movable. Pulley can move up and down. Where this pulley is needed, this type of pulley is needed when we need to lift some heavy objects that are heavier than our weights. So for example, in the lifting of car, in the lifting of cargo, which is lifted by the cargo ships. So for lifting such loads, the fixed pulleys are not enough, because these are not working as force multiplier. These are only changing the direction of the force, and these are not reducing the effort. So here we make use of the movable pulleys. So you have seen that this is the rigid support or the block, and to the rigid support the one end of the rope is attached, and at the other end we can do the effort. And here is the pulley which can move up and down with the load. The load is attached to the block system, to the wheel of the pulley. So this is movable pulley. Cranes make use of these movable pulleys. This enables them to safely carry messy loads, and weightlifting equipment at gyms also use this type of movable pulleys. Now we will discuss about the mechanical advantage of pulley, and what is the advantage of this using this movable pulley. The major advantage of this movable pulley is that it works as a force multiplier. This works as a force multiplier. How it works as a force multiplier? Because in this pulley the ends of the rope, these two ends of the rope segments on each side of the pulley support equal weight equally. Means कि ये जो लोड है जो पुली के साथ अटैच है, इसका जो इक्वल वेट दोनों एंड्स पे जा रहा है. यहाँ पर भी इक्वल वेट होगा और यहाँ पर भी. अगर ये 10 kg का लोड है तो यहाँ पर भी इसका 5 kg होगा और यहाँ पर भी इसका 5 kg होगा. So in a movable pulley, the ends of the rope segments on each side of the pulley support the weight equally, and the force applied to each end of the rope gets reduced by half the weight of the load. मीन्स कि हमें जो एफर्ट यहाँ पर करना पड़ेगा वो क्या होगा, दैट विल बी इक्वल टू द हाफ ऑफ दिस लोड। अगर ये 10 kg लोड है तो हमें यहाँ पर 5 kg का जो एफर्ट है, या फिर अगर हम फोर्स की टर्म में बोले तो 5 न्यूटन का जो एफर्ट है हमें यहाँ पर करना पड़ेगा टू लिफ्ट दिस लोड, बिकॉज इक्वल वेट्स has been supported on the two ends of the rope of this load. That's why the force applied to each end of the rope gets reduced by half the weight of the load. Means कि यहाँ पर जो force apply हो रहा है वो क्या है, half हो जाएगा as compared to the weight of the load. And this type of pulley has a mechanical advantage of 2. Why it has mechanical advantage of 2? Because it doubles the force. As we know, mechanical advantage is equal to load over effort. अगर लोड 10 kg है बट जो एफर्ट है वो हमें 5 kg का ही करना पड़ रहा है, द एफर्ट वी हैव टू डन दैट इज रिड्यूस टू हाफ, तो जो मैकेनिकल एडवांटेज है दैट विल बी इक्वल टू 2. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ पुली विल हैव मैकेनिकल एडवांटेज ऑफ 2 एज इट डबल्स द फोर्स. बट एट द सेम टाइम द डिस्टेंस थ्रू विच वी नीड टू अप्लाई द फोर्स इंक्रीजेस ट्वाइस द लेवल. पर जो अभी ये जो इसकी मैकेनिकल एडवांटेज है वो तो 2 है, मीन्स की फोर्स है जो डबल हो रहा है, क्योंकि जो वेट है वो इक्वली डिवाइड हो गया इस एंड पे और इस एंड पे, और हमें जो फोर्स यहाँ पर लगाना पड़ेगा वो हाफ रह गया है. बट जो पुली फोर्स लगा रही है सारे वेट पे या लोड पे वो डबल हो गया है, बिकॉज हमें हाफ जो इसका हाफ फोर्स है वही लगाना पड़ेगा. पर एक और चीज है कि इसके साथ ही जो डिस्टेंस है जिस थ्रू विच वी हैव टू apply the force has been increased by twice the level. This means if we need to lift a load of 10 kg attached to movable pulley, then we need to apply a force equivalent to 5 kg. हम इसका हाफ है जो फोर्स लगाना पड़ेगा. But to lift a load to a distance of 1 meter, the applied force has been moved by 2 meter. पर अगर हमें इस लोड को 1 मीटर के थ्रू मूव करना है तो जो फोर्स हमें अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा उसको हमें 2 मीटर तक है जो मूव करवाना पड़ेगा. The distance has been increased. So here we can see that when a movable pulley is suspended by 2 rope segments means 2 rope parts, the force has to be exerted over twice the distance. जो फोर्स है हमें वो दुगनी डिस्टेंस पे लगाना पड़ेगा, और उसके बदले में जो पुली है वो क्या करेगी, उस लोड को दुगने फोर्स के साथ है जो लिफ्ट करेगी. So this is about the movable pulley. Next is the info hub. So here a system is shown which is a combination of fixed and movable pulleys, and it is also known as the compound pulley. It is also called a block and tackle system, and this results in a better mechanical advantage. What is block and tackle system? Here this is a combination of fixed and movable pulleys. You can see this is fixed pulley, this is also fixed pulley, and this is the movable pulley, and to the movable and the fixed pulleys the weight is attached. So the combination of the fixed and movable pulleys is known as the compound pulley, and it is also known as the block and tackle system. And this type of arrangements are done to have better mechanical advantage. Like we have seen that mechanical advantage of fixed pulley is 1, when we have used the movable pulley it is 2, but when we use the system of fixed and movable pulleys, then that will be more than that. This advantage, mechanical advantage, can be equal to 3, 4, 5, 6 by using the different types of fixed and movable pulleys, or by increasing the number of fixed and movable pulleys. Next is the action time. How to make a pulley. So how we can make a pulley? For that we require an empty spool or a tape plastic body. Spool means कि जिसको हम फिरकी बोल देते हैं, that is known as spool. This type of spool, and iron wire, string, a few paper clips to make a hook. So firstly take a spool which can be made of plastic or metal, and after that pass the iron string through the empty center of the spool ring. ये जो spool ring है इसमें से हम ring पास कर, जो rod iron है उस iron string को पास करवा सकते हैं. After that we will join the ends of the wire and hang it with the table or any support. We will join the ends of the wire and hang it with the table or any support. यहाँ पर हमने support ये ले रखा है. उसके बाद में then we will pass the string over the groove of the spool ring. We will pass this string. We will take the next string that can be thread, and we will pass over the groove of the spool ring. This is the groove of the spool ring, and after that At one end of the string, attach a paper clip and attach another paper clip to make a hook to hang weight. So here we will attach the paper clip and we will hang a weight. The effort is applied to the at the other end. The pulley is ready. We can apply the effort at the other end, and in this way you can see we have attached a thread. At the thread there is a weight, like here you can see there is a pencil which is the weight, and from this end we can apply the effort. So this is the type of a simple pulley. You can also make the pulley by using some other operators at your home, which is available at your home. Next is the third type of simple machine, which is the inclined plane. So what is an inclined plane? Inclined means कि जो चीज़ झुकी होती है उसको हम बोलते हैं inclined, और जैसे हम ढलान बोलते हैं that is known as inclined plane. Inclined plane is a tilted sloping surface at an angle with the horizontal plane, and it is used for lifting or lowering load. You can see here, this is the horizontal, this is the ground or horizontal, and this is the inclined plane, which is tilted sloping surface. Slope means कि जो horizontal के साथ एक angle बना रहा है उसका हम बोलते हैं slope. This is making an angle, say theta. So it is used for lifting or lowering a load. How we can lift or lower a load? We can lift or lower a load on this surface because this is an inclined plane, and it would be easy for us to lift or lower a load. Or we can simply say that it is a slanting surface or a slope, and it is very useful to lift heavy objects to a higher level. An inclined plane reduces the effort by balancing the weight of the body and makes work easier. For example, if we have to pull a box up, then the weight of the box is balanced by the this inclined plane, and it would reduce the effort. अगर हमें इसको ऊपर की तरफ लेके जाना है, then the effort will be reduced by this inclined plane, and it will make our work easier. So in this way, an inclined plane will act as a force multiplier. And one thing is left, that movable pulley is also acting as a force multiplier. Next, one we see that the inclined plane at construction sites, hospitals and warehouses. Warehouses are the godowns where we can see these inclined planes, where the workers have to move very heavy things around that hospital sites and construction sites and the warehouses. And the inclined plane makes their task easier. Now we will talk about the mechanical advantage of the inclined plane. So the mechanical advantage of the inclined plane is defined as the ratio of the length of the plank to the height at which the load is raised. But the ratio of the length of the plank, this is the length of the plank. Plank means कि जो लकड़ी का अगर हमने एक बार जो ले रखा है उसका हम बोलते हैं plank. The part of that wood that is known as plank. Length, mechanical advantage of an inclined plane will be equal to length, slope length, or we can say that length of plank divided by the height up to which the load is raised. So this is the mechanical advantage of the inclined plane. And this mechanical advantage changes according to the changes in height and sloping length. If the distance of the ramp increases, then the effort required to raise the load to a certain height decreases. That means mechanical advantage will be more. अगर effort कम हो रहा है तो mechanical advantage क्या होगी? ज़्यादा होगी. कब ज़्यादा होगी? When distance of the ramp increases, then the effort to do or effort required to raise the load to a certain height decreases. So the mechanical advantage will be more. It will be greater than 1. Some of the examples of inclined plane are stairs, escalators, ladders, and road on a hill. You can see here, this is a ladder, and this is an example of inclined plane. Next, sloping road on a hill. This is also an example of inclined plane. Next is an activity that to demonstrate that more force is required to carry load on increasing the height of the ramp. One thing we may note that as we increase the height of the ramp, then it would be difficult for us to raise the load up to that height, because the more the height, lesser will be the mechanical advantage, and more effort we have to be done. So we have to do an activity, or if we want to carry an activity, then we can do. For that we need a wooden plank, few books, and a spring balance and a load. Firstly, we will make a ramp using the wooden plank and the book. Ramp means we can suppose this is the table, and on this table we will place the wooden plank, and this is the wooden ramp, and now we will attach a hook to a hook balance. We will attach a load to a hook balance. ये हमने बुक रखी है और इसके ऊपर क्या है, हम ये वुडन प्लैंक रख रहे हैं. तो उसके बाद में हम क्या करेंगे कि एक और बुक लेके हम उसको स्प्रिंग बैलेंस के साथ या हुक बैलेंस के साथ अटैच करेंगे. स्प्रिंग बैलेंस हमें पता है, दैट मेजर्स द वेट ऑफ द बॉडीज. उसके साथ हम क्या करेंगे, उसका वेट मेजर करेंगे, एंड आफ्टर दैट we will slide that book or that load on the inclined plane, and then we will measure the force on the hook balance. और उसके हुक बैलेंस के साथ हम अटैच रखेंगे, so that we can measure the, यहाँ पर है हम क्या उस बुक को रखेंगे attached with the spring balance. वो जो spring balance है वो that will note the force which is needed to slide this book downward. So in this way, is it the same as the weight of the load measured before? अब ये हमें देखना है कि जितना फोर्स हमें यहाँ पर इसको स्लाइड करने में लग रहा है, क्या हमें उतना ही फोर्स लग रहा था, दैट इज इक्वल टू द सेम फोर्स जब हमने बुक को डायरेक्टली स्प्रिंग बैलेंस के साथ अटैच किया था. सो द फोर्स विल नॉट बी इक्वल, बिकॉज व्हेन वी आर स्लाइडिंग द बुक ऑन द रैम्प, देन the force will be less. But as we increase the height, the effort or the force will increase. वो जो effort है या force है वो क्या है, increase होगा, because we have to change the slope of the incline by adding more books and we have to investigate the force required to move the same load over it. Means कि जो books है वो increase करनी है हमने, और इसके साथ ही जो height है वो इसकी increase करनी है. तो जैसे जैसे हम height increase करेंगे वैसे वैसे क्या है, effort है जो बढ़ता जाएगा. तो इससे confirm हो जाएगा कि the more force is required to carry a load on increasing the height of the ramp. Thank you.